Coach, got a question for you about Ian defensively. We've talked about the group in general communicating more, but it appears that he's made some strides on that end. He's doing a little bit better with the switches, closing out, staying with this guy. What have you seen from him defensively in the last couple of weeks? And how good a defensive player do you think he can be once he's fully acclimated himself to investing in that end of the game?
Well, I mean, I think he's obviously getting a lot better defensively. It's always, I think, an adjustment for freshmen. It's just much different defensively going from high school to college. I mean, high school, it's generally you play defense when your man gets the ball. In college, that's just not how it works. In order to be a good defensive player, you actually have to play defense before you play defense to prepare yourself for if and when your man gets the ball. And Ian has gotten better each day at understanding that and doing that. And I've told him specifically that I think he can be an elite defender, and that one of the things that I want him to be is a two-way player, a guy that can shut down a guy, and a guy from an offensive standpoint that can score at will. And he's just doing a really good job. He's getting better every day, and you're exactly right. He's improving day to day.
To stay on that, how much does the fact the last, 6 games, I guess it is, he's been very prolific offensively. For a young player, does that sort of ease them internally? And because of that, he can be a better defensive player because maybe he's a little bit more focused or aware on that end of the floor because the other part of his game is taking care of itself.
I don't think it has anything to do about the offensive end. I think it has everything to do about who he is as a person and a player and a teammate. I've said this to a number of people every day, every night. He sends me a text and he says, "Coach Davis." That's it. And then I text back, "Player Jackson." And then he texts back and he says, "Coach, what can I get better? What can I work on?" And so you have a really talented player that wants to learn and wants to get better and wants to grow. And so I don't think it has anything to do about his success on the offensive end. I think it has everything to do with the type of character and the type of kid he is, that he wants to be good in every area out there on the floor.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Go next to Michael Coe. Go ahead, Michael.
Good morning there, Hubert.
Hey, good morning.
When you look at Cal coming into the Smith Center on Wednesday night, what is it about them that stands out to you in your initial scouting of them?
Well, I mean, from an offensive standpoint, they do a really good job of getting to the free throw line, and they shoot a really good percentage as a team. So, just like, when we played NC State, one of the emphasis was to be able to defend them and defend them without fouling. And so that's going to be huge for us on Wednesday against Cal. They're also a great offensive rebounding team. And so, we gave up 16 offensive rebounds against NC State. That's just not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be a recipe for success against Cal, because even their guards get to the offensive glass. And so those are two areas defensively that we got to be locked in on Wednesday in order to have success against Cal.
Thanks, Hubert.
Rod Baxley, go ahead.
Hubert, what have you seen from Seth since his return to injury? He did start to look more like himself in the second half with those big steals that turned into 4 points from you guys. But what's it like for a player to just be reinserted and try to get back in that groove he found early in the season?
Yeah, it's the 2.5 weeks that he missed, you just have to find a rhythm. The only way that you can find a rhythm in basketball is actually playing. The only way that you can get in basketball shape, is playing basketball. And I was really happy with, Seth's activity, especially in the second half. You were right. He was able to get steals, deflections, get into the open court, which, Seth is really gifted and really good at. And, it just takes time to get back into that rhythm. And I'm just happy that Seth is back, because he is a huge piece of our team, and we need him in so many different areas out there on the floor. And I'm just glad that he's back in the lineup.
Jeremiah Holloway, go ahead.
Hey, Hubert, good morning. One thing you often, or a few things you often talk about as far as the keys to success for UNC is, the defense, rebounding, taking care of the ball. When it comes to defense specifically, the last couple games, holding teams under 70 and having to win some of those lower scoring games, do you feel the team is, for lack of a better term, finding an identity, I guess, on the defensive side of the ball more so recently than compared to the start of the year?
I do. I think more so recently, but there's a lot more room to grow. For example, we held NC State to 22% from the field in the first half, but in the second half, we allowed them to shoot 60% from the field. And so it's not only, and it's something that I've expressed and communicated to the team. It's the next step is, yeah, we can play at a high level defensively, but can you sustain it? Can you stay at that level? And that's something that I think is not, I know is the next step for us defensively. Can we put a full game together? Because 60% from the field on the road against a really good NC State team, that's just not going to work every night. And so we've got to do a better job of sustaining that high level defensively, where we're protecting the paint, we're defending without fouling, we're boxing out and limiting teams to one shot every possession. That's just going to be huge for us.
Your last question will come from Shelby Swanson. Go ahead, Shelby.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're working on a story at the NNO right now about Drake Powell, local guy, and I know that you had the chance just when you were recruiting him to go out and actually see him play at Northwood. Just wanted you to take a moment, reflect back. What was your first impression, both meeting him and also seeing him play there?
Well, just an incredible kid that you just genuinely enjoy being around, not just coaching, but just being around. And, the type of family that he comes from is exactly what you want on this team and in this program. And, out there on the floor, just the way that he just checks the boxes in so many different areas just jumps right out at you. And so, the first time I saw him play, it wasn't one thing. It was everything. It was a three. It was an offensive rebound. It was a steal. It was a block. It was running the floor. It was diving on a loose ball. And not just doing that, but having the ability to do that at an elite and a high level. And that's what Drake has done for us this year, and he'll continue to do for the remainder of the season. But he's exactly the type of person and type of player you want in this program and you want to coach. And I'm so glad that he's here at Carolina.
Hubert, thank you for the time. Appreciate it as always.
Okay, thank you, guys. Have a good day, good week.